of that. So, and then you wanted to move on to JoeFest, right?
Yeah. So you got Joe Cons coming up next weekend, right?
The Yeah, next weekend. Yep, sure is.
So it's a Joe Festival. Is it GI Joe Festival or Joe Con? Is that what's it called?
JoeFest.
Joe Fest.
JoeCon closed in 2018. This is JoeFest. This is the biggest show for GI Joe related content. So,
Right.
um, so if you're
Where where is it being held?
Augusta, Georgia, uh, it's put on by Ed Schumacher. Great guy, wonderful, wonderful man. He's he's done him and his wife have done a lot of work to make this show a success. This is his seventh year. It brings about for I think they said it's estimated about 4 or 5 thousand people I think are going through the show.
Yeah.
So that's a good number. That's a good number. It's a good show. We will be there in our booth. I believe it's 89 or 98,
Right.
somewhere around there.
Tell us a bit about that.
Do what
Tell us a bit about that.
about Joe Fest
Yeah.
or about the booth? Where to find us?
Both, and then we'll move on to about what you will be taking there.
Joe Fest is a 3-day event. It's for to meet all of your Joe needs. If you are a 3 3/4 collector, come on down to Augusta, Georgia at the Marriott, and you're going to join in and many different Joe fans. Everybody's welcome, whether you be a 3 3/4 collector, a 12-inch collector, 8-inch collector, 6-inch collector of the brand. You're more than welcome. If you're looking for something more than that, there's many different vendors that are going to be here. There's really exclusive art that's going to be here. There's a ton of people that are going to be here too with special guests. So I believe that we're represented in 3 tables this year, maybe four
Okay.
tables this year. So
What
it's a
number was
big
it?
show for us.
What number is a stall?
I believe it's 98. But so what we've got is one of our publishing part. We publish After Action Report. We just finished up a Kickstarter campaign there. Command Files. After Action Report will have a booth here. They have an exclusive guest. That's right. We have an exclusive guest. So come on down and get your book signed with none other than Josh Baylock. That's right. Josh Baylock of Devil's Due Publishing is going to be there right out of Chicago. We brought him in. He's going to be signing. So have him sign up your books that you've got. Josh worked on several different series along the way, G.I. Joe being one of them. We just actually finished up our volume 2 and got it out to all of the members off of a Kickstarter campaign, and they got that in hand. They covered Josh's run. So Josh did a lot of different unique things for that, but that's not all he's got. He's got the book Hack and Slash that he's worked on for several years.
Oh wow, I love that book.
So Josh is going to be there with us, with the After Action Report team as they're working on that. The other booth that we've got the Collectors Club. Rising Sun is now tied up with the Collectors Club. We've been for a little bit now, and that will be over at James Kavanaugh's booth, and we're going to talk about you can sign up again for new stuff. We got some exclusives that we're going to be showing over there, and just talking about our Collectors Club membership, which is wonderful to have it on. There's a couple exclusive. Rising Sun is working on a comic book. It is done. I'm afraid it won't be at the show, but it is finished. It's a beautiful looking piece. I just redid it again not that long ago to make it even more pristine than it was before. It's a different scale, different quality. We do a newsletter out of that. So we will be putting on and I'm going to go bounce back and forth here. There will be an After Action Report panel where I'll be sitting in talking about that. There will also be a G.I. Joe Collectors Club panel where I will be sitting in on that, and we'll be talking about that as well, about the Collectors Club and what we can look forward moving forward. We've talked about several wonderful guests, lots of articles, as well as some exclusive materials that are going to be for the club in the future. So guys, if you're looking for when the club is going to do those figures, that's coming real soon. So just hold on. The next is a Rising Sun booth. Rising Sun will have a booth there at the show. I believe we're booth 98. If you're looking for a backstock of any of your books, if you're wanting to come pick up anything that Rising Sun has put out, come on over. Let me know before the show goes, and I'll make sure that you got a copy that I'll be bringing to the show, so that way you can get it. We are, we are really trying to work on getting our backlog printed up, so that way everyone has their CTE books. But I think I printed up some more. There's going to be some new CTE books at the show. So some really exclusive stuff going on there. Rising Sun also has a panel in which we'll be talking about the creation of comics. Now, I'm hoping to get a few guest friends of mine that may actually join in and talk about comic book creation. No guarantees. There's no guarantees, but we're hoping that we might get on a few of those wonderful names that have worked on the brand in the past. So that's going on. I hope to have some more information on that in the next couple of days, where I'll make a post and let people know what's going on with that particular item. Who's going to be at this show at JoeFest in Augusta, Georgia, at the Marriott? Come on down. Who's going to be there? Well, none other than the G.I. Joe Godfather himself, Larry Hama. The man himself is going to be there. Larry is coming. He will be there. We also have Sergeant Slaughter. That's right. The man himself, Sergeant Slaughter, will be there. As you know, I've just mentioned Josh Baylock is coming. We also have Mark Pennington coming. We've got several Joe celebrities that are going to be there, including the voice of Zorana, who most people might know her better as Jim and the Holograms, will be there as well, doing a karaoke.
Oh, wow.
So if you think you can beat Jim and the Holograms, come on down. I'd love to see it. So it's going to be a huge show. There will be a karaoke night. That's what all this is about. I'm pre-pickling my liver, okay? So that way I'm ready. So fellas, if you're watching, I'm pre-prepped.
Right. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, like, I know it's huge. That G.I. Joe is huge in America, right? And I know Action Force is the thing from, I guess the UK version of G.I. Joe, which both books have been created by fan comics have been created by Rising Sun Comics for what, you're up to 100 on the Cobra, the what's it called, Cobra the CTE, what's it, Cobra the
Enemy was our book. We are up to 100 issues. We've had some really big names that have stepped in and contributed to that. It's quite a feat for any book to get to 100 issues, not just a fan produced content, but any book to get to 100 issues is a huge milestone. So we got to 100 issues, and that's no small feat. And that is over thousands of creators that have lent their hands to make sure the books were working, including, for those of you that might not know, and we were going to give a shout out to this real quick, we actually did a Super Joe line, a Super Joe story that actually fell into CTE. I know that there is announced by a Super Joe comic coming from Power Comics, and we would like to give a big wonderful round for a couple of people that we've worked with in the past that are now working over there. Justin Birch. Congratulations, Justin. You started out at Rising Sun. You made it to the big time. Now you got Super Joe with Power Comics, and they got a Kickstarter coming up as well that they're going to fund that through. Also, Larry Hama is working with it. Congratulations, Larry. Godfather is moving on to all aspects of G.I. Joe. So I believe Austin Hugh will be there. We're hoping that we can get an interview with him soon and get it into the newsletter for all of those subscribers that are wanting that. So Austin, if you're watching this, check your emails. I've sent you an email about that, and we got lots and lots of stuff in the works. I'm hoping that maybe I can get some of those creator friends of mine to come along and set in on some comic book creation, how we put comic books together.
So talking about G.I. Joe, now G.I. Joe being an American, specifically American thing, an army and stuff like, wasn't that big in New Zealand, and really hasn't been that big. But there are some collectors. So, however, this week, right, by chance, I went to drop off some Hot Wheels play sets on Friday to a friend of mine, shop owner friend of mine, for his son, and I was doing my normal run, and I found this.
Hey, it's a Havoc.
It is a Havoc, and it cost me $2. There's parts missing, but hey, it was at a hospice secondhand shop, right? Cost $2. It even had the little vehicle inside, right, which goes side to side. Like, it's really cool. This hover thing, whatever they are, they actually move side to side. So one of the guys that in a local group here, Carlos, on our Facebook group that I buy from and stuff, he said, even though he wasn't, as a collector, he's not into G.I. Joe toys. He said their vehicles and their figures were always of quality, and they were one step above a lot of other designs. So you've got where are we? There we go. We got the windscreen that lifts up. You've got this gunner up here that moves. They actually had, these things actually come off, but you've also got the wheels and the side panels covers. They've gone. They're supposed to look like that, right? So you have all these various pieces on these toys. I don't know what it was, but I just went up and did a Google search and found out, okay, this is called a Havoc, and they're around about $160 if you buy brand new, not brand new, but still in its own original packet.
And that one's in good shape. That's in good shape.
Yeah, so I mean, there isn't that much, discoloration, but I mean, there's parts missing, but it is what for what 86 I think it came out in. So yeah, that was quite cool. Good buy for $2. But yeah, kind of like ties in. That's the other aspect of not only you guys, Rising Sun creates a fan comics, and like I said, 100 issues. You've got how many of that are you going to be taking to JoeFest, like those comics?
I'm taking issues 1 through 50, I think.
Wow.
1 through 50 will go. As well as any G.I. Joe related book that we put out prior to it will be going. I wish I had Action Force Redux. However, there's so much going on with Action Force Redux. Yeah. I've got to deal with that at some point. So hopefully, we'll see. But I don't think it's going to make it there. But there's tons of books that we do have, a lot of G.I. Joe related content. Millerverse, which we had finally finished up the Millerverse. So there's some very unique books there that are going to be going to the show. So swing by, pick up those. They're beautiful, beautiful books. Millerverse was something that started a long time ago, and we just finally got it to finish. So that book was 55 series. So all in all, there's going to be 140 G.I. Joe books that you could buy individually, 140 books. So come on down, get you some books. We got some books for you.
Plus, you got the artists signing them as well. So, I mean, if you're missing a couple of issues, you can always try to fill that in.
Also, I wanted to say, if you are a part of the club, you actually get a discount at the Rising Sun booth. If you're a part of the club, you get a discount at most of the booths in the show. And that's part of the club. So your membership doesn't just do anything; it actually gets you a discount as you're walking around the show.
Tell us a bit about the Collectors Club.
The Collectors Club was started by James Cavanaugh. James brought me in along the way. I think I begged him and twisted his arm and said, I'll do anything, James. And he said, okay, well, it's going to take a bottle of tequila. And I said, don't worry about it, buddy. Don't worry about it. So now we've got the G.I. Joe Club. We've done year 1. We're still working on some newsletters for that. We put out the kits. Hold on. I will go get you a kit so you can see it. I don't remember that being there. Hold on. I'll be right back.
You want to show some work you've been working on there? All right. Probably not that one. So that's actually the tortoise risque cover that we're looking at doing. We're just like the Tortoise is a mature book, so we're not, it's not for all ages. But this is one of the wraparound covers. I really love this one. I've been trying to get the skin tones right because and just the backgrounds and everything. So I think I've got it right now for the flats because as you know, when you're coloring it, it always starts with a darker tone and then you put the lighter tones on top to get the lighting and stuff. So I'm hoping that we can, once I've got the right flats tones done for that whoever's going to take over actually coloring is going to be able to do that really.
So you're not going to be coloring the whole thing?
Sorry?
You won't be coloring the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, because there's so much to it, I was a bit wary about doing art as well at the moment. But also I don't want it to, I wanted to have somebody else have a go at it because I think that'll be really cool to see somebody else's art style and on it. But I'm just so excited. I'm going to be to see that actually in a sketch variant, a wraparound sketch variant. That's just so cool. As well as you get to see the colored version as well as a sketch variant of that will be awesome. Because there's nothing like seeing the actual artist, the original artwork there, in the pencils and stuff compared to like say, sorry, it's the ink stuff, but to say and then to see somebody else's color work on it. Because I know a lot of times some colorists, some artists illustrators will do their colors themselves, but sometimes, they don't. And I think it'll be cool to show both sides of that. Sorry, Hawke, you were saying something there?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful, to get some variation. So we were talking about the Collectors Club. Here we go, G.I. Joe membership, Collectors Club. We'd actually designed the package. Brian Sauer did the work. I helped a little bit with the concept, but it was mainly Brian Sauer. So there you go, the G.I. Joe fan club membership. I know there's a lot of light on the sticker, but you can see mine is actually we have the quantity. We only did about 500 pieces of this. There's my code, 005. I'm number 5 in that. Let me show you what it looks like inside so you see kind of what you're getting. So whenever you flip this open, you get all of the goodies. And I had one goodie that just fell out. Let me find that real quick. There you go. So what we have here is a little bit of everything. So you've got your membership card over here. Let me have this focus in. You have a membership card. This is the membership card that actually work inside the club. So you can take that to the shows and get you a discount on most of booths. Okay. Also under that, we have dog tags, personalized dog tags. You pick your code name and you actually have your name on it, your real name on it, and your membership number is, I believe, on the thing. We have a challenge coin here in the middle. Let's see, it might be too much glare. There we go. Challenge coin in the middle. We have a pin over here. We have a 40th anniversary sticker because this was the 40th anniversary. Over here on this side, we have another patch. And then you'll see where this says top secret up here. This is actually a tab that I'm going to take that in hand. This is a tab that folds down to see top secret devices. So here we go. We have a letter from General Hawke. And then we actually have the first newsletter of the G.I. Joe Collectors Club. There it is. So this is a membership package, the debut issue, number 1. This is a several-page newsletter in which you can actually have articles about G.I. Joe and some exclusive artwork done for it. Yes, Rising Sun is listed in here. And James Cavanaugh is the mastermind behind all of that. So it's going to give you more in-depth reading about G.I. Joe and the collecting of the brand, as well as some, I believe there's some fan fiction in here too, written by the writer Justin Bell, who actually started out as a G.I. Joe fan, there it is, and worked his way up to it. We did the art. We did a lot of the art on this piece. So there we go. That is a membership package for the Collectors Club. And that's what you get in the mail. Now we're talking about year 2. We're going to do some exclusive reveals for year 2 at JoeFest. I believe we're going to talk a little bit about that at the panels, about what we've got coming up and what that's going to look like. and we've been working on doing some costing and stuff like that. So there we go, the GI Joe Club membership. And then, of course, the club is also going to offer some exclusive products along the way, including an exclusive comic coming up. It's ready. We just haven't quite got. We just didn't have enough time to actually bring it to print. So that's the Collectors Club is also looking at some exclusive products. So we're working with several vendors. We're hoping to expand that program out. And I can't thank James and Brian, James Kavanaugh Jr. and Brian Sauer, for including Rising Sun, including me in it. And I'm very happy with working with these guys. They're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people to work with. Obviously, we got tons of articles coming up that we've been working on. We've got some exclusives for Renegade Games. We have one from Brian Flynn, which is Super 7. That puts out GI Joe product, and we're hoping that we can get one with Power Comics real soon, and try and get them, cranked out and done a little bit faster. Maybe get them out sooner. Oh, I forgot to put in my letter that I had to. That is the letter from the general himself. So these sold out really fast. I think we're up to past 500 members now, so probably by this year we might be into the 1,000 members or more. I'm hoping.
Will you have any of those spare at JoeFest?
Yes, there will be. We will have kits at JoeFest for sale. They're going to be over at with James Kavanaugh in his booth for the club. I just hope we're not spread too thin. You know what I mean? Because I've got a lot of booths running and I've got a lot of stuff going on at the show, as well as we have the club has a partner that's actually broadcasting during that time, so I'd probably be on that show as well. David will be doing some work, and I know all of our guys are busy, really, really busy, trying to get ready for the show and get everything done. That's in order to go. So that's kind of the plan and where we're headed with the club. It's pretty exciting stuff. I mean, I'm really pleased to be a part of it, and I think that where we're going, everyone's going to be pleased as well. Yeah.
Okay, so if there is is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or otherwise that's us done for this podcast or this live stream?
James, you got anything?
I'm good, man.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Yeah, so guys, we'll probably on the day that we sort of I think we launch, we'll probably be back here to actually do a live stream launching of the Kickstarter. As I said, this is like a build up to that, letting you know that we'll be doing it in about 3 to 4 weeks. Looking really, I'm really excited for it because I want to show you guys what the teams are working on and what artwork that's coming out. And as I mentioned, it's going to be colored. All right, it's going to be full colored comic book within Critical #1. That's something I really wanted to be for this series. So we're just waiting on a colorist to come on board. As soon as they're made available, we'll be getting it on. I think we're going to are we doing a 30-day or 60-day launch for this one campaign?
I think it's only going to be a 30. I think we're doing a 30. And it's going to be a little lower on the amount, but we're going to do a shorter time frame, and just kind of hit it hard and see where we can't go. Go with it. The real hook is going to be in the stretch goals for this one.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's tons of stuff that we want to try and work out. If this one works, then we're going to look at what we can add next time, some more exclusive product. There's several things we've been working on for years that are finally coming to fruition, and we're hoping to get some of that stuff out there as well. I did want to say that. Oh gosh, what was I going to say? I was going to say that I believe we've got some exclusive information on CTE that's going to actually pop up at JoeFest too, over that weekend. So there's tons of stuff. Everything is moving, and I'm looking for a cloning chamber. If anyone has a cloning chamber, I really would like to clone myself. I don't want them smarter than me or more handsome than I am. But so
Just the
Neanderthal.
right amount of brain.
We can go that way.
Yeah.
I want him to do all the grunt work and stuff like that.
Don't we all? It'd be good to have a second person, but I mean, I'm sure we'll probably just end up fighting each other.
I don't think I would. I really don't think I would.
Yeah.
I think I would be like, you go do that. I'll go do this. Okay, great. No, the only problem would be is they'd be like, well, I want to do that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's always going to be, we are our worst enemies, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I couldn't handle another one of me. All right.
I think,
carry on.
But yeah, it's pretty exciting everything that we've got coming out. And for those of you that are looking for product, I probably should say this: if you're looking for product coming out of Rising Sun US, all of that is on hold. I know we didn't talk about that. I'll brush it briefly here. All that's on hold right now, coming out of the US division. We're just on pause for a little bit. We'll be coming back soon with some new stuff and some more some bigger announcements. But right now, we really wanted to kind of focus and showcase Plunge Studios in this year. We've been talking about this for several years about putting things on pause while we really gave them the limelight and let them really shine through this. So if you're wondering what Rising Sun has cooked up, we're working on tons of stuff in the background, but this is really going to be about Plunge this year.
Yeah, so if you want to keep up to date on what's happening on our side there, you can look at Plunge Studios NZ on Facebook. You can, on what Rising Sun is doing, you can actually check out the website, risingsuncomics.com. You can also check out our own website, plungecomics.com, as well as on here, Rising Sun Comics US on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. If you enjoy our content, like and subscribe and share. We'd really appreciate it. Get word out about what we're doing here, as well as what is what Plunge is doing, as well as what Rising Sun Comics is doing as an independent publisher. Don't forget to check out our social media and stuff, as well as we're on Twitter on Plunge NZ1, as well as on Instagram as well with Plunge. I think it's Plunge Enterprises or Plunge Comics. The other thing is to check out the artwork that we have coming out. Check out Plunge Studios NZ on Facebook. We every now and then I put up at least once a week I put up new artwork that's been done, either pencils, inks, or colors, or even panels that has been done by our creators. Like Francisco, you've got Constantinos, you've got James, you've got Kevin, you've got Shane, and stuff like that. We've got so many awesome creatives working on this side of things, and there's so many titles coming out. Hopefully, we'll get about 2 or 3 or 4 titles number ones out this year. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, like I said, we're working really hard to get make a name for ourselves as creatives on this universe that we're building around the Plunge universe. And so we really appreciate your help to get us there. Also, like I said, our talent, we'd love to have our talent paid for what they're worth, and support us on Kickstarter and support us wherever you can, wherever our books end up being in stores. I know Rising Sun Comics has books you can either buy on website, or you can buy them through certain, comic book stores in the US. We're building up something this decade. We've been, the last 5 years, we've been working towards building up this universe that we've been creating, and hopefully you will join us for the ride, right? At the start of it, because then you can, because I bought the first book or whatever. I always like getting on early myself, because to be able to get in on that number one is an awesome way to start up. Showing support to creators and to publishers, and owning something that they've created. And there's nothing like owning a number one than to have it in your hand from the first time. It's just amazing. So all the amazing work that James has been doing on it, under several other books, especially for this one with the poster, as well as Kevin with interior art, Shane Evans with his classical cover art, and also, like I said, we're going to offer probably the PDFs of the web comics or whatever available as well, or whatever. Hawke decides to put out as a final thing, as a publisher for, and running the Kickstarter campaign for us. I'm looking really forward to it because it's our big one. It's our first one. It's our mascot for the company, for the studio, I should say. And I hope that you guys will support us in the long run as well, not just this one time, but you'll see what we're doing. We're working really hard to tell a good story because story is very important to me. Because if it's got to be about the story and the character building. Otherwise, why would anybody want to come back to it if they don't like the character or if they don't like the story they read? But the amazing thing is the artwork really lifts this book up. So thank you for your support, upcoming support, and thank you for watching. And from all of us at PlungeCast, and Shane's not here today because he's over at a convention, at an expo or at a convention in Auckland. So he's busy there helping out with New Zealand Comics Artist Alley that they've got going on there. Hopefully he's signing some books for people for his own comic book, Wastelands, that he put out this past couple months. And if you're in Auckland today at Armageddon, rock on down to the Artist Alley and see Shane Evans. He'll be there. I'm not sure if he's just there today or if he's there for the whole weekend. But do check out all those independent creators that are at Artist Alley. All those Kiwi creators that are there, everybody, they're working on the independent side. It's a tough ride, right? It's not easy. Working on your books and putting them out, getting the puzzles takes a lot of time. And especially with this one, took us about a year to get to where we are now, probably a year and a half. And we finally got into where we're ready to bring it to the world in a printed form with all the awesome things. So you'll see updates about what will be coming out on Kickstarter. You'll see the different tiers, comics, posters, variant covers and stuff. So from myself here in New Zealand to you guys all around the world, from Hawke in Texas, and James, where are you based, James?
Alabama. Right. So from Alabama. So I'll leave you guys to say your final word and we'll finish off. Hawke, go first.
So, thanks everyone for coming. And if you're in Augusta this coming weekend, come check us out. You can always find us at our website, which Aru has already mentioned. And we're just thankful for our fans. We're thankful for everyone that's walked down this path with us, the good, the bad, everything in between. And hopefully you've enjoyed everything we've put out, and we'll continue to put out some more work. So thanks for joining us, and please